Yo, my guys, Theo here on Common Sense. Today we'll be talking about how to be stoic and what stoicism actually is. Because if you think for a second, you've probably heard about stoicism, but do you know what it is? Because I don't know what the definition is, to be honest. I've never read up on it. To be honest, I don't read that much at all. And before I go on, maybe you can hear the dishwasher here or the laundry machine. I'm sorry, I just didn't have any other opportunity to either to clean stuff or record videos. So I'll just have to be loud and clear here. Hope it's fine. So Stoicism, like I said, I haven't read much about it, but when I scroll through my Instagram feed and come upon one of these quotes from an old Greek guy, I find myself every single time be like, yeah, I know this already. This is awesome. That's so cool that they knew all of this already back then. And so that's interesting, right? Like how, both in the sense that how could those like Greek guys thousands of years ago know things that I know now without having read anything from them, you know? And also, how can a little Swedish guy brought up in like the comfort of the modern world here, completely different world, how can I, without having read anything from them, come to similar conclusions? Well, because I'm telling you what my definition about Stoicism is. It's first and foremost acknowledging that there is an absolute truth and trying to come closer and closer to that. And the other part we'll get to later. We'll start that. So you think about words. Like I might be saying some of the similar things as the old Stoics did, but I just use different words, right? And if you think about it, our language isn't the perfect means of communication, right? It comes close when we talk about really basic things, like if I say the wall back there is white, you know, there isn't much nuance to that. But even then, you know, someone could go like, I don't know if that actually counts as white. That's maybe a really, really light gray or something, you know. So even there's nuance, but when we get to the deeper and more abstract things, metaphysical things, the same thing applies. There is an absolute truth. It just gets harder and harder to pin down exactly what that is, both in your understanding, but especially in trying to communicate this truth, right? And so that's why you'll have some people talking about the same things at the core, but they might use different words. And that's why if you follow me and like me and what I have to say, you probably have other people you follow and think they're kind of similar in some ways, but in one way maybe they're completely different. Like I have a great example on this, two big influences on me. We can start with Jesse Lee Peterson, the old black conservative Christian fellow with a YouTube channel here, or several YouTube channels, The Fallen State too. And we have Wes Watson of GP Penitentiary Life. And so he is a white, shaved, super jacked, very tattooed, angry sounding man, you know. And on the surface, these guys have nothing in common, right? But at the core of what they're talking about, like I'll mention, he's sat in prison, Wes Watson, and kind of, you know, he was a criminal, but kind of changed his ways. But they are talking about basically the same things. They just have a very different way of expressing it, you know. But what happens is, why they can know the same things, why I can know the same things as the Stoics, is that it's on the Stoic journey towards the truth, you know. On that spiritual journey, many of us, we come upon the same truths. It's just that, again, it isn't as simple as the wall is white. So we don't all go around saying the wall is white. You know, we use different words to express it. So, yeah, the point there is that it's very cool that, of course, you know, I joke a bit about reading and stuff. I'm very much a proponent of don't get stuck just reading books or watching videos or whatever, you know, like take action too. And the cool thing is, like, yes, sometimes if you combine it with action, books and stuff, they can be a shortcut, but there's so much you can figure out just on your own, but by doing the inner work. And I'm going to tell you the other part of Stoicism. The other part of Stoicism, well, many probably thought about that when I said it. Now I can hear the laundry machine is loud. But many probably thought about it when I said it, that being Stoic is being able to not feel emotions and just be like robotic. And that's not really true, because we'll always have emotions and thoughts. And being Stoic, the way to find the truth is to not run from these feelings and thoughts, but confronting them, learning them so you can identify them and watch them instead of letting them dictate how you are. You know, a man, an alpha, it's not that he doesn't have emotions or negative thoughts. It's that he's able to stay in control at those times. Like, everyone, we're not perfect, we're not God. You can slip up at some point, but he's he's getting better. That's a journey of becoming the alpha. He's becoming better and better at distinguishing this. As, oh, I'm in this emotional state right now. Oh, I've got stuck in this thought pattern right now, and just observe it. And so I have a pretty decent example of this once, when I just had some things I was dealing with in life that gave me anxiety, and on top of that, there was just so much going on. I'd had a long week, and I was just super stressed and anxious, but I had things to do. I had to go work out, I had to work and stuff. So I come to the gym, and I meet this guy that's, he's younger than me. I'm 28, he's like probably 9 or 10 years younger. And, it's funny because I come there, in my state that I feel like, I'm super stressed and anxious. And I interact with this guy that I kind of know looks up to me because he likes hanging out in the gym. I am, not to brag, but people know me in my gym, and I am fucking fit. and so if you're into training and a younger guy, it's not strange that you would look up to me. And I love that, of course. But I could tell this guy was so insecure about it. Like, some people, it's like they almost don't want to show off that they're impressed with you, and then they do show off. And look, I'm going to get to the point. Like, the thing is, this guy, I can tell that he gets slightly nervous around me, because he's like, oh, I'm talking to this guy now, the cool buff bro. I want to get to know this guy so he can give me tips. Something like that. I, of course, don't know exactly, but I can tell from his way of being that he's nervous now. And he's all in his head about what I think about him. And look, isn't it funny that what he is experiencing right there is probably just a fraction of all the anxiety and stress I'm going through right now. But instead, I am the one that can pick up on him being nervous, and he has no idea that I am the way I am right now. Do you understand? So that's what being stoic is about. It's not about suppressing emotions and not feeling them. It's about doing the inner work, getting to know your emotions, watching your thoughts, not running away from them, getting to know them so that when they appear, you know what's up, and you don't get all caught up in that. Because the more you're caught up, it's like that guy, if he wasn't so caught up in being nervous about interacting with me, then maybe he could spot something, just something in my behavior, but he's all in here. He doesn't look out there. And what you learn with being stoic, you can't suppress, you can't remove the negative thoughts and the tough emotions, but you can learn to step outside them. So you still maybe have a little foot in there, you're still experiencing them, but they don't dictate everything you do. Because I've experienced this earlier in my life, that when I was all in my head, in my emotions and thoughts, it was like I couldn't see other people, I couldn't even think. It was not an option to even consider. I can't tell anything about their emotional state or how they're feeling right now, because I'm all in here, and that's my whole reality. And being stoic, again, it's not about removing that, it's just being able to, instead of being it all here, it's kind of, okay, this is going on right now, that kind of thing. And so, because the video was called How to Be Stoic, right? So the concrete advice I need to give you here is, the more time you spend with it's going to be, with all your thoughts and all your emotions, like meditating. The more time you spend, the more you're going to get to know these and be able to distinguish, oh, this is a common thought for me, or this emotional state, and so on. But especially when, at the toughest times, when you want to run, when you want to distract yourself from whatever negative thoughts you're stuck in, your emotional state, you want to numb it by scrolling on the phone mindlessly, just binge watching series, playing video games, binge eating, going drinking, taking drugs, whatever, your vice for that is. That's how most people deal with it these days, and that's why people can't just be alone with their thoughts. Do you know some of these people that want to hang out with you all the time, and then when they meet you, they're on their phone anyway? Because it's not that they want to hang out with you so bad, it's just that they can't spend time with their fucking thoughts. They're super weak in there. They're the opposite of stoic. And look, if you've ended up in this state, it's not all your fault. This modern world coddles us, and it doesn't teach us that, hey, these tough emotions and feelings, they're actually necessary. They're necessary, and you can learn a lot from them, because that's what you do. When you have, sometimes, of course, you can just have anxiety induced by even diet and stuff, and meditating might not do everything for you. You might have to do some lifestyle changes, but many times when you have anxiety or you're stressed, there's a good reason for it. And you won't ever figure it out if you just run away from it. And it probably, if you keep that's actually suppressing the emotions, right? And it will build up. It will build up. And finally something will happen that happened to me. You get fucking chronic panic attacks, and you have to, you now, instead of the discomfort you maybe thought was too much for you now you have 100 times more to face. And like, enjoy that, you know. That's what suppressing emotions lead to, and it's actually just facing the thoughts and feelings. And to be concrete, I can link Jesse Lee Peterson's Silent Prayer. It's a good way to get into, he's talking mostly about watching your thoughts, but I think it goes equally for emotions. Feel your emotions. What do they tell you? Why are you feeling this way? What can they teach you, you know? And I've done that. You know, there's a lot of change in my life lately. Like, I just have stress from lots of work. I don't know when this video will be up, but I'm going to tell you about that on a live stream. But also, my family got some pretty awful news, and yeah, there's a lot of things that can give me pretty tough emotions and feelings right now. And you know, there's a part of me that, you know, it's the go-to. Like, we all want to flee from it. We all want to find, how can I remove this? How can I distract? How can I forget about it? But would you know what I've done? I just sat there. I sit down or lie down, and I close my eyes, and I am there. And I'm just like, what am I feeling right now? What is this thought? And just let it happen. Instead of fighting it, I do the opposite. I fucking run straight towards it. And you know what? It's very uncomfortable at first, but when you don't run from it, you gain some kind of understanding from it. And it's an attract, don't chase thing. When you try to run from it, you can only hide it for so long until it blows up like that. But when you go right to it, that's when you you start turning some stones, and it's like, oh, okay. And you start understanding it. So, yeah. Being stoic, it's about a journey towards the truth. We'll never get to the end destination, but with all the greatest journeys are not about the end destination. It's about where you're going all the time. And how fun would it be in life anyways, if you could end up, I'm just perfect now, I just know everything now. No. So it's about pursuing the absolute truth and getting closer to it, but also being in control of yourself. The truth, it's about knowing yourself. Knowing the self is the source of all knowledge. And so you can't run away from those thoughts and feelings, because they're all you have. They're all you have in the end. Okay, guys, I hope that made sense. I hope I could teach you a thing or two about being stoic. Do the fucking silent prayer or some kind of meditating. If you're struggling with anxiety or intrusive thoughts and stuff, you can't hide it away. It will be there. It's just like your apartment. If you never clean it, it doesn't go away. It doesn't just go away. It's not until you actually face this thing and fucking do the cleaning that you sort it out. It's the same thing with your thoughts and emotions. And eventually, it's a bittersweet thing. You'll never get over the anxiety and the fear and all those things, but you'll see yourself, you'll be amazed that you can feel one way and act in a completely different way. And it's not fake. It's just that you don't let those emotions and feelings and thoughts consume you. You're able to step without them. And that's the fucking strongest thing you can do in this life. So guys, please comment. What did you think? What is your definition of stoicism? Do you practice anything like this already? Please let me know if you have any tips for me. I'm still working on this, I want to get better at it too. Just because I talk about this doesn't mean that I'm perfect with it again, And please subscribe for more content, little uncommon sense takes on life, such as this, but also more practical content about self-improvement, fitness, fasting, how to build muscle, how to lose weight, how to become a fucking awesome person. Okay, guys? I'll see you later. Peace.